Hello, this is Justin VanFulpen with NFL Draft Digest. Today on NFL Draft Digest, we're going to be talking about the outside linebackers for the 2010 NFL Draft. An overview of these outside linebackers starts with Navarro Bowman, the outside linebacker from Penn State, who was a junior who declared early. He's a guy who's a 4-3 outside linebacker, can play strong side linebacker there, and a guy who's probably going to be drafted somewhere in the middle of the first round. After that, we're going to talk about a 3-4 outside linebackers, and that starts with Ricky Sapp from Clemson. He's a guy who's a pass rusher, played defensive end at Clemson, but will be a 3-4 outside linebacker in the NFL. And then Sergio Kendall from Texas, who again had played some defensive end there at Texas as well as linebacker, but again will be a 3-4 outside linebacker. And both Ricky Sapp were probably drafted late first round, and Sergio Kendall probably more of a second round pick there. Going on, we'll go to some more seniors. You've got Sean Weatherspoon from Missouri, a guy who was very high in the outside linebackers and could have came out early last year and been a first round, second round pick, and really didn't do anything to really increase his stock this year. And so probably be a second round pick. It's a 4-3 outside linebacker, can play strong side. I think he's a very good, talented player and will be a very talented player at the next level, but needs to be a little bit more consistent. After him, you have Eric Norwood from South Carolina, a guy who did declare last year but just didn't sign with an agent, came back for a senior season and really improved his stock as well as really impressed some NFL talent evaluators. He's a guy who I believe is probably a second round pick, a 4-3 outside linebacker, but somebody who I really like a lot. Another player who improved in his senior year, his stock, is Roderick McElroy from Texas, a guy who was just that steady defensive player on that Texas team that made it all the way to the national championship game. Probably anywhere between a late second, early third round pick there. I really like his ability. He's a 4-3 4-3 outside linebacker, and a guy who's a very good player. Then you go to another 4-3 outside linebacker, senior A.J. Eads from the University of Iowa. A guy who was consistent in Iowa's defense, that had been winning a number of games, staying undefeated late in the season before a couple losses there in the Big Ten. But he's a player to really look for at the next level. And then rounding out this overview of outside linebackers, you go with Renan Curry, the junior who declared early. I was a little bit surprised that Curry declared early. He's a small, undersized guy, probably going to have to be a weak side linebacker. Reminds me a little of poor man's Ernie Sims. A player who's a talented guy who can run and chase, but is going to have to play a 4-3 weak side linebacker because he needs to use his speed and athleticism because he's a little short and a little undersized. So again, overview of those outside linebackers. We've got about 8 guys who are going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. Some very good, talented players. And next we'll be talking about the inside linebackers on the NFL Draft Digest. Again, this is Justin VanFulpen. You can check me out at NFLDraftBible.com as well as my blog, which is NFLnext.blogspot.com. That's NFLnext.blogspot.com and JocksRaps.com. So take a look at that. Again, this is Justin VanFulpen. You've been listening to NFL Draft Digest.